still Hustle Daily. What's going on, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Ray. Big Play Ray, to be exact. Welcome back to another video. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Y'all know I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. This is story time. I got another one for y'all. It's how she almost died in jail. Holy, we about to get right into it. Before we get into it, make sure y'all follow both of my YouTube channels. We Still Hustle Daily and We Still Hustle Daily 2. Well, those are both of my Storytime channels, I mean. So We Still Hustle Daily, We Still Hustle Daily 2. Tap in. I'm releasing videos over there every single day, just like I release over here every single day. 3 times a day. You get 3 over there, you get 3 over here. You know what I'm saying? Some videos going to be over there, some videos going to be over here. So make sure you tap in, subscribe to both channels. There's nothing different about this. I'm just releasing different stories over there, all right? So make sure y'all tap in. All right, so we already know what this is about. Make sure y'all smash that like button. And make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at the top of the screen. All right, we about to get right into it. Did you like the video yet? As soon as you like the video, I'll push play. As soon as you like it. All right.
I have waited a while to finally post this until I could process everything. And I want you guys to know I'm only posting this in hopes of helping somebody else. I'm gonna do my hair and I'm gonna tell the story of what happened to me at Montgomery County Jail, because the only thing I have is my voice and I'm a little nervous, so stick with me. This is gonna be a wild ride. I'm gonna do my hair. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this because I am so nervous to talk about it because I'm just one girl, but I almost died. So let me start it out. I think this was a Sunday. Me and my sister decided to go for crawfish because we love crawfish. Duh, who doesn't? It's that season. So we go to get crawfish. I'm going to run through this part because it's not really a part of the story, but I'm just setting up, like letting you guys know what happened. So me and my sister go to get crawfish. And afterwards, I'm like, I want a sweet treat. So down the road is an American Cookie. So we drive to American Cookie, okay? And like, this is like where it gets weird. So me and my sister go in, we order our cookies, and we sit down, and we notice there's a cop parked diagonal behind both of our cars. And the funny thing about it is, me and my sister used to both drive illegal cars because the registration was out. And but now we both have legal cars, everything's fine. And we like made the joke, like, oh, they're waiting for us being funny, literally being funny. So we eat our cookies and we don't really like pay attention. And then we look outside, and as we're leaving, we're like, oh, the cop's gone. Like, oh, well, they couldn't find us, blah, blah, blah. So we get in our cars, we say our goodbyes, and I'm just sitting in my car, like on my phone, just scrolling for a while before I drive. I'm probably sitting there for about like a good 20 minutes. And I finally decide to drive home. And I notice across the way, so we're at an intersection. So across the way, there's a cop car parked on the other side, and I'm pulling out. Well, I noticed as soon as I pull out, so does the cop car. I'm still not thinking anything of it. I'm not thinking anything of it at all. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then I start driving, and he gets directly behind me. And then I'm still not thinking anything of it. Like, my car's registered, it's in my name, license is good, registration's good. I'm like, because that's the only problem I've ever had with the law, obviously, is like car shoes. I'm a single mom. I do the best that I can. And for a long time, I drove a car that wasn't registered because I literally didn't have a choice. Okay, I was doing the best that I could. So I get into a turn lane to go to the gas station. Boom, lights me up. So I pull over, he comes up to the window, and he immediately says, hi, the reason I pulled you over is because this car is registered under someone who has a warrant. And I immediately, like, I'm gonna cry. I immediately start crying. And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, and I'm like, I shouldn't have a warrant. I've paid my tickets because I had to deal with this for so long. I already paid $1,600 on them. I didn't think I had anything left. Obviously, it's my responsibility to check and make sure. Throughout the story, I don't want you guys to think I shouldn't have been arrested. I'm not saying that. Like, I get, like, do the time, or, like, do the crime, do the time, blah, blah, blah. I know accountability and responsibility, right? But I just still start crying because I'm so stressed out about it. He goes back there. Okay. You guys see this thing right here? I'm type 1 diabetic, and that's the main source of this whole story, okay? I'm type 1 diabetic. I'm brittle diabetic, okay? So that makes this even worse, way worse. So he runs it back. It is me. He has to take me to jail. So this right here, this little thing sticking out, that's an insulin pump. And I have to change it out every 3 days. Well, it was the 3rd day. So it starts beeping. And I start expressing to him the fears that I have into going to jail and being type 1 diabetic. And he like assures me like, oh, we have medical staff, like everything will be fine, blah, blah, blah. Everything was not fine at all. Now, I'm always prepared. So I had an extra insulin pump and insulin in my purse. So that was already a fear of mine, knowing that probably I wouldn't have access to those as I'm in jail. Duh. So I'm freaking out over that. I don't even know what's about to happen, like at all. And so we get to the jail. They have to do the strip search, everything like that. Take your jewelry off, blah, blah, blah. You got to get booked. So the warrant is for like no registration and expired license, right? So they're like, you're going to be in and out in no time. You don't even have to see the judge. You just have to sign a promise to appear, for a future date. So like, you're going to be in and out of here in no time. I'm like, okay, maybe my pump will last that long, because they're like, you could even be released this night. Because by the time I got arrested was around like 7, 8. And they said like, I should be out in the middle of the night. So basically you have to strip naked. Like I was stripped naked. And the 2 ladies that were there, like everything is good. They look at my pump and they say, you have to take that off. Immediate panic. Immediate. It was like, if you've ever seen that movie where it's like, no, wait, with that guy who has like PTSD, I immediately switch into that mode. Because this is my lifeline. Without this, I will die. One night it slipped out, and by the next morning I was throwing up and I was in the hospital because I went 8 hours without insulin and DKA. If you know a lot about type 1 diabetes, you understand, blah, blah, blah. So I'm immediate panic, and they start freaking out. They're like, no, there was one officer who understood and was kind to me, and the other girl was a mean. And I said, no, you don't understand. This is my lifeline. I need to have this on. Like, please, begging and pleading. Please, let me keep this on. So I'm in hysterics. I'm crying. Picture like snotting. Like, basically freaking the hell out. Freaking out. So the mean lady, she tells me either you take it off or we take it off of you. And the other one, she can see that I'm panicked. She can see that, like, I'm being serious in what I say. I'm like, I need this pump or else I will die. And she tries to reassure me, you're going to get out of here. It's okay. I'm going to book you immediately. I'm going to take you down to the infirmary, which is the nurse's station, like in jail. And we're going to get you checked out, blah, 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 blah. So I have to take it off. So I take it off. There's so much more to the story, and I'm looking at the time. This might have to be a 2-part series because this is when it starts to like go downhill. So I take my insulin pump off. I go, they're doing the questions, blah, blah, blah. They ask me, like, are you okay? They have to do like the suicide, schmooshmide questions. And I'm in hysterics. I'm like, obviously I'm not okay. And I'm going to post my mugshot at the end of this because this was the only good thing that came out of this because I ate that down. But I was in a suicide watch vest because I said I was emotionally stressed. And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, they're asking me all these questions. I had just ate. So when I got there, my blood sugar was 288, which is high. It is high. But it's going to come down like with my insulin pump. So they're asking all these questions. I'm freaking out because I'm like I don't know how to do this. I need to call. I'm waiting to make my phone call to my family to let them know like what is going on. And so by the end of the questioning, before they take me to like the suicide watch, they check my blood sugar again. That took 15 minutes. But in the 15 minutes, my blood sugar went from 288 to 420, I believe. They freak out. They're like, what? Yeah, because I live off an insulin pump. Hello. So they take me down to the infirmary, okay? This is where it starts to go downhill. So they take me down there. When you're type 1 diabetic, they use something called a sliding scale, right? And the way I like to describe this to people is like the BMI scale. That doesn't apply to everyone. And that is the same thing with type 1 diabetes. My body is going to process insulin and handle things differently than another type 1 diabetic next to me. It doesn't work that way. And so they were trying to use that to help correct my insulin. So I think I left it off wrong. Before I went to the infirmary, I was able to call a friend and they were able to call my mom. Because I immediately got them on, they gave me my one phone call. I got them on the phone and I said, hey, this is what's happening. They're not letting me keep my insulin pump and, yada, yada, yada. So they called my mom. So now we're headed to the infirmary. And as we're walking there, I hear, like it's over speaker in there, my mom. Because she knows and I know this isn't good. This isn't going to work. This isn't okay. And the reason I'm making this video is because there shouldn't be a reason to take my insulin pump off. They tried to say that they took it off because I was put on suicide watch and that could be used for something. I don't know what that would be, but that's not true. They made me take it off immediately because it was against policy. That should never be against policy. Medical necessity should never be against policy. Ever. And so my mom's calling them and telling them, look, like she's lived off a pump. She's lived off the pump, blah, blah, blah. My mom's always going to do that. She's going to call somewhere, do something. And so they assure her, I'm fine. Everything's going to be okay. I'm fine. Okay. So they sit me down in a chair next to a doctor. There's probably like 6 These aren't doctors, by the way. These are just hired staff, medical, something like that. They're not doctors. And they made that very clear to me. They sit me down and they look up a sliding scale for type 1 diabetics. Okay, and this is gonna sound tricky if you're not educated on type 1 diabetes. So they check my blood sugar again. Now my blood sugar is 588. Normal range of blood sugar is 80 to like 120. I'm not doing okay at all. Normally I would feel these effects, but I think because I was so high on adrenaline and fear, I couldn't feel anything yet. So they look up what amount of insulin to give for 580. Now I am brittle diabetic, okay? Insulin affects me very strongly. So my whole life, my body fluctuates. There was a point in time where I could take 8 units of insulin and I'd be fine. And then it would do this and it would fluctuate. Right now in my body stage, if I take 0.5 insulin, I will go down. So right now my body is very sensitive to insulin. They tried to give me 14 units of insulin. Immediately start panicking again. Because I know there's no way I can take 14 units and be okay. I am going to have low blood sugar, have a seizure, and die. I know my body, and at this point, it's like me and 3 other doctors just going back and forth, okay? And I'm still in hysterics. I'm crying, like, no, you don't understand. I can't take 14 units of insulin. Is there any way we could do anything lower than that? I only take 0.5. I kept stressing, I only take 0.5. And now they're starting to get mad at me. There's this one lady, she's mad at me. She looks at me, she goes, you shut up. We've listened to you this whole time, blah, blah, blah. We've dealt with brittle diabetics in here all the time. And I was trying so hard to be like, I understand. I know you guys are just doing your job. But diabetes isn't like that. You can't use one scale to determine what's okay for my body. I know my body. And this is something I've had to learn with having this disease. You can't expect everyone to be educated on it. That's very selfish and stupid. That's like me that's like someone expecting me to understand like a certain type of cancer. Like I'm supposed to know everything about it. That doesn't affect me as a person in my day-to-day life. There's no way I'm going to be educated on that. So I don't expect that of anybody else. I have to advocate for myself. And I learned that at a young age when I went to the hospital one time. And I used to feel so safe with doctors because I'm like, they're educated. They know. One time I went to the hospital. They're about to give me insulin because my blood sugar was high. And I felt weird in my body, and I said, can we check my blood sugar first before you get, because they're about to give me 12 units of insulin. I was like, can we check my blood sugar first to make sure that I need that? Like, yeah, we should probably check it before we do it. My blood sugar was 98. Giving me 12 units of insulin would have shot me down. And the way that shocked me as like a little girl, like this doctor almost harmed me, and he played it off like, ooh, you would have been drooling. What? What are you talking about? You almost killed me. And that's what I learned, that doctors are just people. And everyone's just people. And I only have my back at the end of the day when it comes to dealing and managing my diabetes. So I'm telling that they're yelling at me and I'm begging. I'm like, is there any way we can do less insulin? I'm telling you, I just need a little bit of insulin. And they're fighting me. And so they're saying, like, your blood sugar is super high, you need insulin. And I'm like, I know I need insulin, but I cannot take this amount that you're giving me. And they said, like, we can't change the dosage because we're not actually doctors. And so they try to get a doctor on the line, and the doctor on call, we sit down, the doctor on call, he says, no, you have to take that amount. And I'm like, why is nobody educated on this? Like, why does nobody understand this? And we wouldn't be going through this if I had my insulin pump. So finally, I convinced the doctor. He says, okay, fine. What about just 5 units of insulin? Even that, I haven't taken 5 straight units of insulin since I've been on the insulin pump because my body's regulated to that. So if I were to take 5 like fast-acting insulin, it still would have shot it straight down. And so I said, please, just 3. And I was hoping and praying. I still hadn't taken 3 units of insulin in a long time. I was hoping and praying that I would be okay. But I knew I needed insulin, so I had to take what I could get, and that was that. So they reasoned with me there. And by this time, I was starting to feel sick. So when your blood sugar's super high, the side effects are like shallow breathing, fast heart rate, stomach pain, vomiting, weakness, dizziness, confusion. I'd started to feel shallow breathing. So I was like, yeah, I need something. So I was able to take those 3 units, and they put me in the suicide cell watch thing. I'm completely naked under this huge vest, praying to God that I get released soon. And in there, time is like infinity because you can't see time. So I start to feel a little bit better because my blood sugar is coming down. They come check it. They were originally planning on checking my blood sugar in the morning and at night. That is not okay as a type 1 diabetic. I, on average, check my blood sugar probably close to 25 times a day. 25 times. No, we can't do that. So they made the promise to me that they would come check it every hour. So they came and checked it. My blood sugar got down to like 300. Still super high, but at least it's not 588. Okay. So now I get through the night. I can barely sleep. I'm trying to focus, and what's so sad is it makes me get emotional. Is I'm like, I've been through so much. I can get through this. So I make it through the night. Those effects stopped a little bit. I got maybe a total of an hour of sleep because it's hard to sleep on concrete naked in a huge vest that swallows you whole. So the next morning rolls around, whole new staff because shift change. Now I'm panicked because these people don't understand what's going on. But luckily, the nicer lady who was nice to me, she explained to them like what was going on, and they let me know they were doing the best they could with the knowledge that they had on type 1 diabetes. I start to get violently sick. Because by that time, the 3 units of insulin have worn off. And I can't breathe. I am shaking. My stomach's hurting. And now they have to take me right back down to the infirmary. So I'm violently sick. I flagged down the officer. I'm like, I need to go to the nurse's office. And so here we go again. So I actually forgot to mention something in the beginning of the story. So I've almost gone to jail before, right? This was, I think, back in like 2023. I couldn't even get booked because my blood sugar was 400 and they didn't have the means to take care of me. So I went to the hospital. So I had the knowledge going in now. It was the same situation, but I didn't have to take my insulin pump off. Like, I arrived and my blood sugar was already too high for them to take me. So I knew in the back of my head that going to the hospital was an option. And so I get down to the infirmary. I can't breathe. I'm shaking. I feel like I'm about to throw up, but there's nothing in my stomach. They sit me down. They do the same spiel. It's my blood sugar's back up to 500 again. They try to give me 14 units of insulin, and I stress again, I cannot take that much insulin. And I'm like, I can't breathe, and I'm begging and I'm pleading them. I'm like, please, 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 please. And I'm just freaking out. I'm at like I'm just getting emotional because I'm sitting there and I'm like, there has to be something. Like, I cannot, basically, they're making me choose between either like a slow death or like a fast death. And I know if I just keep with high blood sugar, there's a way more chance, higher chance, that I'll survive than if I crash. And I go out that way. And so I'm just fighting with them, begging them like, no. So it's new staff, right? So they don't understand, and like, it's different. It's a different woman, and she can see it on me that I'm so sick. And she's like, I wish I could do something. I wish I could do something. And there's another lady. I'm sitting next to a different lady, and I was like, I get you guys can't help me, but can I go to the hospital? Like, can an officer come with me to the hospital? They're like, no, you're not going to the hospital. And I was like, what if I get sick? And I'm like panicking. I'm like, I'm already sick, but like, what if I get really, really sick? And she's like, we have nausea medication. I don't want to be crying, but I'm just like begging them, please let me call my family so they know what happened to me. Because either I don't know how long I'm about to be here, you know, and I'm getting so sick. And all I can think about is that, like, I'm going to die, and then on these papers, it's going to say that I refuse insulin. But it was way deeper than that. And so I'm begging them, can I please call my family? Can I please call my family? You know, I need to tell my mom, because my mom has my son. My mom has my son. I have a son. Sorry, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about all the different people I was around giving me different reactions. And like, some of the women that were working in the nurse's station were so cold. Like, I'm breathing like this. I'm breathing like gasping for air, because when you go without insulin, your blood becomes acidic. So basically your own blood is toxic, like going through your whole body. It's basically acid. Acid through your blood system, everything. So everything's shutting down. And one of them were like, oh, she won't do it. Sign the refusal, go back. So I had to do this 3 times. And it was only like 10 o'clock. Okay. By the time I came back, the girls who were in jail, you know, they had already went to court at 9 a.m. They were back. They had me sign this paper, and I just had to wait for the judge to sign it to release me. And so I saw the girls were back, so I was just waiting and waiting. And I kept getting sick. But I had so much adrenaline, I was just pacing. I was pacing because I was like, I can't die like this. Like, I've been through so much. This is not going to be the way I die. Of course, I may have been melodramatic because in the grand scheme, I think I was only there like 12 hours, which is crazy to go that long without insulin. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know how long I was going to be there because they originally told me I was going to get released in the middle of the night. But here I am at 10 a.m. the next day. So one of the new officers, she said, if you're feeling bad in your cell again, just give me a thumbs down. And do you know how insane it is to like be behind a cell and like you can hear all the officers like just talking about day-to-day life and joking and eating salad and like shooting the shit. That's insane. That's crazy. Jail is insane. Okay. So this is like going to be within the last hour I'm there. So a new lady comes into the suicide watch, whatever. Honestly, she probably saved my life because she was able to keep asking me questions to keep me unfocused on what was going on. So I feel sick, and she keeps telling me, you're about to be out of here, you're okay. How old's your son? You know, what school does he go to? Like, I told her my son's autistic, and you know, it's been really hard. And she's a very religious woman, so she believes in like faith, and like we met each other for a reason. And her talking to me really, really kept me like from freaking out. It really, really, really did. So I can't breathe, but still, you can't fight. You can't fight medical issues. So I get really, really bad again. Really, really, really bad. I'm barely walking. So we go back to the infirmary. It's the same thing. I'm super sick. They tell me I need to take insulin, but I can't take the amount they're trying to give me because it'll make me crash. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like I can't, like I'm trying to breathe. And I just look at her, and I'm like, please let me call my family. Please let me call my family. And of course she tells me I can't. She looks at my status, and she sees I'm being processed of release. So she said, okay, you're about to be released. Just chug water. So they sit me next to a fountain, and I think by this time I've had like 8 cups of water, just trying to dilute my blood. But of course I'm sick. Like whenever you're that sick with DKA, that makes you want to throw up. So I tell them like, oh, I'm about to throw up. They put me in this room. Oh, actually, side note, in the middle of all this, it's a infirmary for both men and women. So men are coming in getting detox because, you know, they're on drugs. I'm fighting for my fucking life, and men have the nerve to be like, stop crying, beautiful. What's wrong? You'll be fine. You think as I'm fighting for my life, I want a greasy-faced man basically telling me to smile? So anyways, one of the nurses gets mad that keeps happening, and she's like, she's in the way. She's got to go somewhere else. Sorry, I'm fighting for my life, and it's annoying you. I'm so sorry. She puts me in this room where there's an old lady in a bed. Why? Probably 80 years old, eating a piece of cornbread, staring at me. I think there's vomit in the corner. I'm sitting on this little bench like, and I'm looking around like, this cannot be my last fucking moments. This cannot be the last time I'm alive. And so finally, the one lady, the one nice nurse, she looks at me and she goes, you're really sick. You should stay out of jail. No shit, Gretchen. I'm not out here robbing banks or killing people. I was just too poor. I was too poor to pay for something. So now I almost die for it? Yeah, she tells me, oh, you're really sick. You shouldn't be in jail. Yeah, go figure. So So I chug all this water. She's like, you're about to be released. Do you think you can go back to your cell and just wait it out? And I don't have a choice. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like walking back. And as I'm walking out, they're like, there's another lady, one of the officers who are like watching all the girls. They're like, is that Jones? And she was like, yes. She was like, okay, she's getting released. Woo! When I tell you I was on the brink of death. So so I'm like, okay, I'm getting released. They're like, we're waiting because we can't just release you when you're on suicide watch. We have to ask you those questions again to make sure we can release you. So when we ask you these questions, think about your answer. I picked up what she was putting down. Okay. I'm the happiest I've ever been. What are you talking about? I ain't never been sad or suicidal. So I get back to my cell. That lady's there again. The lady who came in there and who was like distracting me. And like we're just talking, and I think about like 20 minutes pass. They pull me out of my cell, and finally I answer all the questions and I'm released. I immediately put on a new insulin pump, and that is that. And that is what happened to me at Montgomery County Jail. The reason I feel the need to post this and or talk about it is because somebody could have a worse charge than me who also lives on an insulin pump, and it is not okay for them to take something that is such a medical necessity to survive. Newsflash, I'm not survival of the fittest, okay? Don't put me on Naked and Afraid. I will not survive. Yeah, so that has to change. I don't know how to make this change. People have told me I can sue. I don't even know how to go about that. It's not about the money. It's about, I can't imagine this happening to anybody else. I was so lucky that my charge was something so minor as like a class C. I think that's what they called it. I don't know how the rankings work. But I remember when I got there, the lady who was checking me out, she was like, oh, what is she in here for? And he said something about like to get this. And she was like, oh, really? So you're wasting my time. So I was basically put into jail for something so minor and almost lost my life because I was too poor to be able to afford something as a single mother. Now I get it. That is the law. That is okay. If that's something I had to do, that's something I had to do. It's not anyone else's responsibility to, how am I trying to say this? It's my responsibility to remain out of jail. I get that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I got arrested for no reason. I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is, if I was able to keep my insulin pump, none of this would have happened. And I can't imagine this happening to somebody else with a worser charge, having to be in there longer, who is the same type diabetic as me. There should be no reason that an insulin pump is not allowed as a medical necessity. Now, let's talk about some of the other things. The cell that I was in on suicide watch, there was a girl in there that refused to shower for 8 days. We are naked, butt naked, no bra, no underwear. She was on her period. They had to keep changing cells because it smelled so bad. That smell will never leave my brain. So there's that. Also, when I got my phone back, I had so many DMs and so many followers, and like, I think I got like 60 followers on Instagram and like, I think like 70 friend requests on Facebook. I was confused. And then I said, ding, 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 mugshots. And this is the only thing that I can genuinely say is a plus, because at least my mugshot ate down. At least it ain't down. Wait. Like, look at her. Okay, Miss Girl. Okay. So, my mugshot got posted. Obviously, on, like, the town's... Like, you know, when you live in a small town, like, mugshots get posted, like, through those accounts that watch them. Which, by the way, why is that... Like, what are you doing? Why is that your... Like, why do you do... Everybody has hobbies. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so my mugshot got posted. It was seen by everyone. And I mean everyone. I wasn't able to even, like, be like, never got a where are you text. They knew. Everyone knew. The DMs went stupid. Went dumb. Let me see if I can try to find some. Actually, no, I want to save privacy because I know I don't have the energy to try to scratch out the names and stuff like that. But they were like, I know you're in jail right now, but let me know when you get out. Let me know when you get out. Get the fuck out of my face. Oh, the comments. The comments are crazy. I got a lot of comments being like, it was like 50-50. Half of people were saying like, why, like, so basically you got arrested for being poor because you couldn't afford to get your registration and then you couldn't afford to pay the ticket. So now you go to jail, which is going to cost you more money, blah, blah, blah. They're like, what the fuck is that? And then on the other hand, it was people being like, oh, look, at least she can afford the lashes, but she can't afford to take care of her stuff. That is so irresponsible. First of all, these lashes are $9 on Amazon. Learn how to ball on a budget, bitch. Okay? Second of all, that was really mean. That was really mean. But yeah. Thanks for everyone who listened. That was a long story. And I just wanted to share, and I felt like it was important for me to say what happened to me. Not saying that anything will change. Montgomery County in Texas, not Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery County in Texas is very corrupt. And I've heard a lot of different stories. Not saying that, like, I wasn't posting this hoping I would, like, change things, you know. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, I am. I did post this hoping I'd change things, but it's not expected. Either way, my story needed to be told. So...